Hey, and I do hope you are well. My name is Mark, and today we're checking out some more relationship stories. And if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too. Well, let's crack on with today's first story. Now, today's first story is titled, My 27 Female Friend 27 Female Seems to Enjoy Finding Ways to Humiliate Me. I've known my best friend Mary, not her real name, for about 7 or 8 years now. I've had her back through tough times and she's had mine. The rest of this post might make her sound bad, but honestly, she is not a bad person. She is kind and a caring friend. But there is one thing I've noticed that she does a lot lately that I don't understand. She seems to keep finding ways to make me feel humiliated. Recently I was at her place and she came out from the bathroom, sighed and said, "This is awkward, but every time you use my toilet you pee on the floor. I'm sorry, I didn't want to say, but I'm tired of cleaning it up." I was genuinely shocked and embarrassed, and I believed her. It's not a problem I've had anywhere else, but maybe I was careless or there's something about her toilet that makes me stand up funny. Next time I used it, I was very careful and made sure I checked the floor after I was done. It was perfectly dry, so I washed my hands and left. 10 minutes later, Mary uses the bathroom, comes out and says, "You peed on the floor again." But I didn't. I checked the floor very thoroughly after I used the toilet. It was dry. I told Mary this and she shrugged and said, "Okay, if that's what you want to tell yourself." I recently began trying to learn Spanish. I've been working really hard, doing 3 to 4 hours of personal study every night and attending private lessons. Every time I mentioned something I learned to Mary, she'd correct me, which was weird because A, her Spanish is the same beginner level as mine, and B, I know just enough to be able to tell she's usually wrong. But I just let it go and figured maybe she was right in a different Spanish dialect. We went to a Spanish language cafe so I could practice, and I wanted to order hot chocolate but wasn't sure of the word for it. I was about to get out my phone to check, but Mary said it's chocolate gaseosa. Pronunciation. Gotta bear with me there. That didn't sound right, but my Spanish is still beginner level and the waiter was coming, so I went with it. The waiter looked completely confused and kind of amused, and we muddled through a conversation where finally he worked out what I actually wanted. Looked up what Mary had told me and she told me to say fizzy chocolate for some reason. There's a bunch of other examples I won't get into because this post is already long. But what I want to ask is, how do I bring this up with her? I don't want to fight about it, but the few times I've pointed out she's not being truthful, or I don't agree with what she's saying, she's blown off on me and been very dismissive. Now, I really wanted some more examples of what she was doing in these situations, but you say that she's a good friend and the post makes her look bad, but I do question, would a friend really do this to another, gaslighting you like this? Especially the whole toilet thing is very, very strange, so I'm going to be really interested to get some more information on this one, which we'll hopefully find out in the update. But before we do that, let's find out what some of the comments think. So, Pointless Game Show says, "I think she probably needs to put others down to feel better about herself. Or she's just a bitch. Either way, no true friend would do that. Distance yourself. That will eventually make you feel awful about yourself and build up resentment to her." AA says, "That doesn't sound like a best friend. Why would you want to stay friends with someone like that? A true friend wouldn't do that to you. If you already brought it up to her and she brushed you off, she probably would do the same." Often Dream of Train says, "Sorry, she's not your friend. She's got issues and it makes her feel good to demean you." Also, is chocolate caliente the right phrase? Your commitment to study language is admirable. Now go out and find some new friends, whatever language they speak, as long as they are nice to you. Sorry, my Spanish friends out there for that pronunciation. Apricot Rich says, "I really don't like the idea of throwing the whole best friend away. The toilet situation is so strange. I'd have asked her to show me the pee on the floor. Best friends can talk about pee, figure out what's going on with the toilet/pee together. When she corrects you and she's wrong, then discuss it. It doesn't have to be an argument. One, you pull out your phone and Google it. Sometimes people are just wrong. We are all human. If you value this friendship, then have a talk with her in person about how you've been feeling. Don't let her blow you off. Have the conversation and let her know it's important. Try to gain a perspective on all this. Maybe there is something you are missing. I lost a best friend because she could tell everyone, her friends, family, and the internet that she was mad at me and why, but she couldn't tell me directly when she was upset. Scared to hurt my feelings, scared of my reaction. I'm not sure, but friendships don't survive without communication, and it isn't always easy. And one more comment from Station Polaris, who says, yeah, she is not your friend. It feels like she wants to put you down to feel better about herself. Maybe she is jealous about something. Seems maybe she is jealous about you. I don't know. It's okay to make mistakes while learning Spanish, friend. Most of us Spanish speakers don't care. We like helping people who are learning. Also, it's true that certain Spanish words vary from country to country. For example, in my country, popcorn is hipocus. God. But in other Latin countries is pochoclo. I'm not trying anymore. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. But if your friend is being like what you said, I would advise you cut contact little by little with her. God, I can feel myself going red from trying to read those words. But anyway, OP updated the post, which says, not too sure how many are interested in an update, but I thought I'd give one anyway. Firstly, thank you to everyone who offered advice and feedback on my original post. To have confirmation that I wasn't overreacting meant a lot to me. I talked to Mary a few hours ago. Long story short, I gave her the same examples I gave Reddit, plus a few more, and said that the way she's been acting recently has made me feel humiliated, stupid, and small, and that since she's my friend, I was sure that's not how she would want me to feel. I was letting her know so we could talk it out and fix it. At first, she was very dismissive again and said I was making a big deal out of nothing. Ordinarily, I would have dropped it there. But after seeing how many people on Reddit agreed her behavior was unacceptable, I decided to stick to my point. I asked her what she would want me to do if I made her feel bad about herself. Her reaction was interesting. She started getting emotional and said that she'd been picking on me on purpose as a way to test boundaries in a safe way. Oh boy. A bit of backstory. Before me, Mary spent her teenage years in a very toxic frenemy-type friendship, where she was the victim and her friend was the bully. It fucked with her self-esteem a lot, and in the first year of our friendship, I did have to keep reminding her that she didn't have to meekly agree to everything I said, and that I wasn't going to hate her if she disagreed with me about where to go eat or what movie to go see. Her family are also not very nice people, and she had a bad relationship with her parents. The mother is very homophobic and even more transphobic, and Mary identifies as queer. I'm not taking Mary's word for any of this. I knew her old friend and I've met her mum, and they are both shitty. According to Mary, I've been the only person in her life who she trusts not to dump or get aggressive if she, in her words, pushes back. So she started trying to test how much she could push me. She said she wanted to see how much I cared about her, as an affirmation that someone in her life did care for her unconditionally. At first, I was sympathetic because I understand what it's like to feel like nobody has your back and nobody really loves you. But after our conversation, I've been thinking about it more. I've been starting to feel more and more angry. There's a difference between pushing boundaries and being straight up cruel to someone. Pushing boundaries is a toddler refusing to eat their veggies to see if dad will let him get away with it. Not a 27-year-old woman lying to her friend that she pissed on the floor to intentionally humiliate her. I don't see why I should have to be treated like shit to make up for Mary's parents and former friend being arseholes. So that's where I am now. I still care about Mary. She's still important to me, but I'm rethinking how much importance I want to put on our friendship and how much time I'll spend with her going forward. Maybe that proves her right that our friendship isn't unconditional, but I don't want to be the doormat she wipes her feet on when they feel mucky. Now, there's no doubt in this that Mary needs some form of help, therapy or otherwise, because she carries on down this road of pushing boundaries, testing people. It's not going to end well with her, and it sounds like she doesn't have many friends, probably OP at the moment, and she's put a huge risk on this friendship with what she's done. I mean, telling someone that they peed on the floor, it's just not okay. And I'm always sympathetic myself to people who's been through a hard time, but it's not an excuse for asshole behavior. We say it time and time again. And I truly do hope that Mary finds some help that she clearly needs, but I'm not sure what I would do in this particular friendship, because whenever I would be with Mary from now on, I'd always be like, is she testing boundaries with me again? You know, when we talk about relationships and when someone breaks trust, can you trust that person again? I'm not sure how I would feel in that. How about you? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below, and let's move on to another story. Now, this next one, I've had a lot, and I mean a whole ton of requests for me to read this. I've heard about it, I've seen it on social media, I've seen other people reading it as well, and I thought, I wasn't going to cover it because it's well covered already. But people were still saying, read it, Mark, read it. Don't pre-read it though. So here I am. From what I gather, the story's going to be a bit saucy, it's going to be a little bit cheeky. Let's dive in. It's from Tyler Life. It does come with an update apparently, and it says, my 20 female girlfriend of 2 years told me the music I, 25 male, play during sex is weird and a major turn-off. A little backstory. When I first started having sex, I researched into ways to be better, as I was a little stiff, dearie me, and pretty much had no idea what I was doing. I hope that was a pun. I read online that you can play music and match the rhythm in order to put on a better performance. I searched love-making songs and started slowly creating a playlist in which I was comfortable matching the rhythm. There are a few songs to my playlist, however, there is one song in particular which actually helps to be my favorite, that my girlfriend hates and says turns her off in a major way. I don't understand why it has taken her 2 years to tell me she hates that song. It's a good love-making song with good rhythm. I feel the way I fucked up is I could have possibly asked her previously if she likes a playlist or any song she'd like to add/change. But to leave it for 2 years thinking our sex life is great, but in her eyes has just been ruined by my music, has left the whole situation feeling awkward, and I'm a bit annoyed. I pretty much played this tune every single time, so the amount of times she must have not been enjoying it when I thought the complete opposite is annoying but also embarrassing in ways. Not to mention my previous partners, however they never complained about the song, so maybe it's just her. It's fucked up the relationship to be honest, because sex feels awkward now. The other day we were having sex with no music, but I was still thrusting to the tune playing in my head. She recognized this and asked me to stop. I thought this song was perfect, and I always thrust along with the tune and feel it gives me the perfect rhythm for doing the deed to. I usually bust to this song, oh my word, and find it devastating she hates the song. And the song itself, which I can't play for copyright reasons, but I'm going to tell you now, if you search up Hudson Mohawk and Cbat, spelled C-B-A-T, into YouTube, it will come up straight away. Let's listen to this. Now, I was curious about this. Hopefully you've listened to the song, or at least listened to part of it. I put myself through the whole thing. I thought this went so viral. What's Hudson Mohawk's Twitter like right now? I was looking through it and they've obviously realized how big this has become. And then I realized this is in the viral... This is number 1 in the viral 50 global on Spotify at the moment. So people are either just living the meme, or there's a lot more people that like this song. And I've just got so many questions about how. He says, we're going into too much info territory here, guys, I'm afraid, but he says that he gets a rhythm to this, but the first 20 seconds of this is some like build up. Oh, is this just where he's presenting himself? Oh, and then around the 20-second mark, some sort of kick comes in. It's not just like a steady beat. It's more of a. Where'd you go with that? Then we get onto the 25, and you get like the mouse squeaky stuff going on. How'd you gain rhythm to that? I don't know. All I could think of when I was doing that, do you know the TikTok filter that was going around at one stage of the wavy people? Where they're walking along and it's waving and their body's going all over the place? That's all I could think of as some sort of rhythm. And if you haven't heard the song, you're not listening to whatever, all I can make the sound go like it goes. Can you imagine? I don't imagine. And then finally, around the 50-second mark, you get like the bass come in, which goes boo, 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 which makes more sense. But you got this whole build up, which just leaves me, how'd you build up to that? That poor woman. And the fact that she recognized the rhythm when you wasn't even playing it as well, because the thrusting was the same. That must be one wild pattern. That's all I can think of. And you can imagine the comments were pretty much as wild as the story itself. So Sol Kane says, this man literally fucked this girl to robot dolphin sounds. Kamad says, this sounds like an inflatable clown toy falling down the stairs. Scuba Alex says, I tried it on my wife for the sake of science, and she asked if I'd acquired a head injury. We are 0 for 2 on this one, bud. Cam says, what the fuck made you think this is a lovemaking song? This is some shit Plankton would play while fucking his computer wife. And Barson pictured it better than I could. Which says, I hard lolled at the casual murder in the YouTube comments. 0 to 18 seconds, the glorious disrobing. 18 to 24 seconds, the clumsy foreplay. 24 to 2 minutes 45, the unorthodox pounding. And 2:45 to 2:52, the unsatisfying climax / the sudden softening. Bloody hell, I need to wipe my eyes. I've cried here, man. But Tyler later come back in with an update to his post on what happened after he got all the flack and all this sort of stuff, which says, posting here has got removed from today I messed up. Okay, this exploded more than I expected. My mind, man. And has been a bit overwhelming with the messages, but thought I'd give an update. The attention hasn't been exactly positive, and this hasn't been the best thing to happen for my relationship, and it's now sadly ended. I didn't expect it to blow up so much. I should have used an anonymous name instead of my real name and our real ages. There aren't many 25-year-old Tyler Lives who are in a relationship with their SO for 2 years who is 20. Unfortunately, her younger sister recognized this and showed her parents who wasn't happy at all and made the situation extremely awkward. What made it more awkward and cemented the fact that it was me is that they recognized the song. Once at a family dinner, we were discussing music tastes and my ex-girlfriend stated that I had an odd taste in music. Everyone laughed and pressed me to play something of what I like as music, to which I then blessed their ears with Seabat. Her father laughed and said it was terrible. I guess we all have different tastes. Although I nodded in agreement at the time, I was thinking in my head that this is a great fucking song. We're over now and I am moving on. I already revealed my face on TikTok, but with the amount of hate I originally got, I decided to say I didn't have it and backtracked. I don't think the song is that bad and I have no idea she didn't like it until recently. And as soon as I did, I stopped. I didn't force her Seabat. Not all can handle Seabat. I know it's different. I know a lot have asked for a face reveal and playlist. My playlist I actually burned onto a CD and I've been using my CD player. What? But I'll go on YouTube and try to link all the songs in one playlist and share. I'll also leave my TikTok and playlist in my bio now. Most of you probably seen me before, I backtrack from the hate. And what an absolutely bizarre story. It was wild all the way through, and you know, I am sorry that he lost his relationship over this. It must be difficult for him at the same time. But what a strange song. There was one line I absolutely loved in the update as well, is that not all can handle Seabat. And this post is absolutely everywhere. I just googled Seabat and it's viral, truly viral at this point. But as always, I turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And just a huge thank you for spending your time with me today, getting involved in the story. Your love, time, and support always means the absolute world to me. And hopefully I will see you in the next one. I was going to try and sing the song, but I'm not going to do it.
Wake up, get up, stretch my legs, eat some breakfast, milk and eggs, brush my teeth up, wash my face, throw my clothes on, start my day. Wake up, I can smell the smoke from the bacon. Let's go, see the sun shining from the windows. Okay, I know that today'll be a good day. Okay, I know that today'll be a good day. A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. drink some water, brush my teeth, get out of bed and I stretch. Bed in my hair is a mess. Look through my clothes for a fit.